That night I stood picket on the Potomac with a detail of the 3rd Arkansas Regiment. I remember how sorry I felt for the poor fellows because they had enlisted for the war and we for only 12 months. Before nightfall I took in every object and commenced my weary vigils. I had to stand all night. I could hear the rumblings of the Federal artillery and wagons and hear the low shuffling sound made by troops on the march. The snow came pelting down as large as goose eggs. About midnight, the snow ceased to fall and became quiet. Now and then the snow would fall off the bushes and make a terrible noise. While I was peering through the darkness, my eyes suddenly fell upon the outlines of a man. The more I looked, the more I was convinced that it was a Yankee picket. I could see his hat and coat. Yes, see his gun. I was sure that it was a Yankee picket. What was I to do? The relief was several hundred yards in the rear. The more I looked, the more sure I was. At last, a cold sweat broke out all over my body. Turkey bumps rose. I summoned all the nerves and bravery that I could command and said, "Halt! Who goes there?" There being no response, I became resolute. I did not wish to fire and arouse the camp, but I marched right up to it and stuck my bayonet through and through it. It was a stump. I tell the above because it illustrates a part of many a private's recollections of the war. In fact, a part of the hardships and suffering that they go through.
Oh, that's Sam Watkins, and that's from my very favorite Civil War book, Company H. And that's a picture of yours truly with my unit, the 45th Virginia, and we are portraying the 21st Virginia chalk level grays at Spangler's Spring at the foot of Culp's Hill on the 2nd day of the Battle of Gettysburg. Thanks for tuning in, y'all. And by request from our pal Irish Reb, and here is Irish Reb firing off some powder. 21st Georgia at Pitzer's Woods here in the Gettysburg battlefield. And today you're going to my neck of the woods, you're going to my front yard. Rock and roll. So by request, we're playing some Ultimate General Gettysburg. The request is made by the Sergeant Major of the Army of Northern Virginia. We are both longtime living historians and reenactors. And I'm a former board member of the Preservation Association and a former volunteer coordinator for the Park Service and for Gettysburg Foundation. And so thanks for tuning in, guys, for some Ultimate
On
General.
the morning of July 1st, 1860.
This is what we're playing.
An 8th Illinois cavalry officer by the name of Marcellus Jones fired the first shot of what would turn into the Battle of Gettysburg. And so we're sitting here between McPherson's Ridge and Hare's Ridge. It's what we were just looking at. And right now, 158 years ago, the Confederates were coming over that ridge that we often look at sunset. And Marcellus Jones borrowed a rifle and took a shot at a mounted cavalry officer. And Marcellus Jones was from Illinois. So without further ado, my friends, that first shot, right? And so I won't be firing powder, but I was born in a hospital in Ottawa, Illinois, like most people in that county. It was probably the only
I meant to say mini ball. I wasn't going to be firing no mini balls.
We're going to fire that first shot.
So we are firing the first shot on the day of the anniversary at the same time that Marcellus Jones shot that shot in the same direction. Right out of my tower of solitude up here in the treehouse. Rock and roll.
7:30 a.m. Battle of Gettysburg. And you guys, I have a video that I've thought of.
Daniel Lady Farm. This is the Daniel Lady Farm, the headquarters of the Gettysburg Battlefield Preservation Association. And so what's the video gonna be? This is the 1st Pennsylvania Light Artillery Battery D, and I was later Powder Monkey after this event for this unit. Great bunch of guys. Shout out to Brian and the guys. This is July 3rd at Pickett's Charge, firing at Pickett's Charge on the day of the anniversary at the Pennsylvania Monument. So let's play, let's have some fun, y'all. haha, rock and roll it. If any of you guys are ever interested in doing reenacting, and we are right there in my front yard. That's where I live, right there. That's what went down. They're literally right here. I love it. If you guys are ever interested in getting into reenacting or living history, hit me up. I live in the living history and reenacting capital of this hemisphere. We do all kinds of reenacting here. World War I, World War II, French and Indian War, Gettysburg, Civil War, you name it. So by request, and I've been looking at this for a long time. I've had this sitting on my PC for a long time, and Irish Reb suggested it. So, I don't know, a while back I got Ultimate General Civil War and I got Ultimate General Gettysburg, and I just had to play freaking Gettysburg first, right? So dude, right here you guys, I really do live on the Gettysburg battlefield. The Gettysburg battlefield is a national military park. It's a national cemetery, it's a national battlefield, and it's a national park. And so Gettysburg is it's one of the most important places in American history. Right up there with the White House and Arlington National Cemetery, Battle of Yorktown, Bunker Hill, you name it. This battle changed the course of American history. This battle did. The Confederates could not recover. And they held out at Petersburg, and there was a lot of battles. There was a lot of battles. But this battle was the turning point. It, as we all know, it freed a people from slavery. And that's the most important thing about this battle. Chokes me up. And so I've done living history and reenacting with the 57th Virginia, the Jeff Davis Guards, the 45th Virginia, the 21st Virginia, the 1st Pennsylvania Light Artillery Battery D, the 142nd PA, shout outs to my pal Don. And now I am an honorary member of the 8th Virginia that is being headed up by our pal and moderator, Irish Reb, who you guys see in the videos often. Big giant guy with the red beard. So I fired this up and looked at the graphics a little bit. Make sure all was kosher, everything was groovy, and everything is super groovy. I don't know how old this game is, but I do know that I know Tim Smith plays it. You guys have seen Tim Smith, and probably James Hessler probably plays this. You've seen those guys on the History Channel. Rock and roll. So day one of the Battle of Gettysburg, right here, man, right here. I live between Hare's Ridge and McPherson's Ridge. If you know Gettysburg, you know where I live. I live on the old Spangler farm right across the street from the Harmon farm. And so Hare's Ridge Inn is right there. Where I'm sitting, you guys will see in the game, is the Abraham Spangler farm, is this property where I live now. And so rock and roll, old Robert, and A.P. Hill, and I am friends with A.P. Hill. Yep, Patrick Falke, actor Patrick Falke, he played A.P. Hill in Gettysburg. You guys saw him as the general with the black beard and the red shirt. All the big reenactments. Hopefully we'll be doing some reenacting this year. So me and Irish Reb have some real great Civil War ideas coming out. My marching days are over, but my camera and video days are not. Okay, so you guys want to see some kick-ass first-person, in-your-face, real deal, first-person point of view, living history, real stories, real letters, real personal connection. That's what I've been doing for years here at Gettysburg. It's why I live at Gettysburg, to make a difference in make a difference in preservation, teach people history. Hell yeah. If you can leave, so we can pause this, we can pause the game. And so I think I chose this one first, obviously, because it's home sweet home. This is actually where I live. You guys have been on my live stream. I've showed you outside, and I said there's Hare's Ridge, and there's 50,000 men coming across the ridge. There they are. And so right beyond the border, there's the Appalachian Mountains. Right on. And so there at the Harmon farm is where my ancestors live. A lot of my videos on my Daryl Tungett, my personal page, are shot here on the Harmon farm. And this day one of the battle is where the majority of my excursions into the past history video series takes place. is mostly here on day one. Now, when I'm doing reenacting and I'm doing living history, there's no cell phones. I do hardcore campaigner living history. I don't know anything different. The very first day I ever did living history, was hardcore. I didn't know any different. That's the way I was taught. That's what I expected. I expected that's what reenacting was. So 3-day-old bacon and sleeping in a thunderstorm for 3 days with the gun blanket, and that's it. Shooting wet powder. You got a handful of peanuts and an apple and maybe some burnt corn, and that's what you're eating. There's no cell phones, there's no cameras, there's no video cameras. I don't take that stuff into camp. Once I leave the modern age, I'm out of the modern age. So we are actually where I live. And so General Archer, Sally, he's rolling over to Harmon's Woods. So that's where my cousins live. We're going to roll Archer down south. We're going to move Heath, Big Hat Heath. We're going to move Heath skirmishers right into, that's not Earp's Woods, because Earp's Woods is across Willoughby Run. And so you guys see my video. You see that stream running right through the middle of the map? That's my front yard. Rock and roll. So check it out. Yeah, I'm still... I'm trying to figure out the movements, and I did the tutorials. I watched the videos, and so, but I'm still learning what I can do and what I can't do, and my memory trying to remember the, the clicks, I think it is, and then holding the tab and the control and for certain commands. And I am a little bit, for the most part, I should say for the majority of the part, what I'm doing is historical. This is where these guys were. Now Heath got shot in the head. Okay, now over to our right. Yeah, we got to move these guys right up. They're right across the street from my house. No shit. I love it. This is a trip. I'm going to be playing the shit out of this. Are you kidding me? Wait till we get to Culp's Hill. I'm going to take Culp's Hill. You see there, I'm trying to get my mouse right and left button. I'm still learning to play. You guys, this is the first time I've ever, this is my first play. This is my first look. I think I told you that. I've never, ever played this before, ever in my life. No shit. I didn't have any practice or nothing. I watched the tutorials. The thing is, I know I do not need that topo map. I know every hill and every tree in this whole battlefield. No shit. Here they come. What's that? Gambles. We got the 142nd Pennsylvania and our friend Don rolling up across the water, and he's running into my cousins from Tennessee. So Archer's brigade there, they were the Tennessee brigade. Archer was captured by a big burly Irishman. Right on. And so I had 3 ancestors that were there with Davis's 42nd Mississippi. Davis's 42nd Mississippi. I always thought Heath's forces were much bigger. Now you see where I have the artillery position? That's Hare's Ridge. I know. I'm looking. I know the topo on these. I know the ground. Check it out. I love it. And so this is what really happened down south, man. They exchanged that ground on the Harmon farm. Shit, man, a dozen times before noon. And so so there's the railroad cut right there. That brown line cutting through the map. That railroad was under construction, and some of Davis's troops and Heath skirmishers, maybe Heath skirmishers, don't quote me on that, but Davis's troops try to come down the railroad cut, and so that's pretty historical. We got the Iron Brigade right there where my cursor is, right there, in Earp's Woods, and Earp's Woods is the ancestors of my friend April. Shout outs to April. But rock and roll. So we've got Archer and the Tennesseans going across Willoughby Run, and they're going to be headed up into Earp's Woods, not Reynolds Woods, not Gettysburg Woods, not McPherson's Woods. It's Earp's Woods. Rock and roll. So now we got Pettigrew. Where's our 26? Yeah, here they come. 26 North Carolina. Right on. And I've done some living history. I did the Gettysburg Remembrance Day Parade with 26 North Carolina. Huge group. Thank you for your contributions to preservation over the years, 26 North Carolina. This property here that was my cousin's that we're fighting on, 26 North Carolina donated over $10,000 to the purchase of that property so that it could be donated for preservation to the National Park Service and be protected forever. Awesome. Boy, you wait till we start doing some preservation videos, me and Irish Rob. We're going to be doing real living history, hardcore campaigner. It's going to be some good stuff. Yours truly will be behind the cam. I'm going to get me an old Civil War wicker wheelchair. We got Jeb Stuart up north. We got to find General Custer was here. Yep. Here we come. Send them right over to my house. Let's do something a little different. We're going to get off the Harmon farm. It looks like Archer is holding Earps Woods for a bitsy. I'm still trying to get these doggone right click, left click, select this unit, select that unit. And now I watch, see there? I got them pointing the wrong way, damn it. And that's just about what happened too. They wheeled. We got Davis's 42nd coming up, but we're going to be having Iverson's coming up, and they wheeled to the right. And they got blasted. You see how all the Yankees are going into a defensive position. They're headed back up east towards Benner's Hill. See if we can move this artillery up. Yep, bring it right down into the Harmon farm. Right there is all flat. Where I'm putting that artillery. From where the thing is up there. The thing is, up there is Oak Ridge. Okay, up there is the high ground. That's real high ground. Up there is where the modern day Peace Monument is. And on top of the Peace Monument, guys, you all see that flame. There's an eternal flame on top of the Peace Monument. When JFK came here to visit Gettysburg and he saw that flame up there, he liked it so much that when he was killed, his wife, Jackie Onassis, she had a replica of that put in Arlington National Cemetery as that eternal flame. So it's a replica of the Peace Monument flame here. So yep, we got all Pettigrew's men rolling right across my apartment. Kick ass. And now you guys, today in 2022, where we're at right now is not built up. This is not a suburb. Gettysburg is a tiny little town of 6,000 people, but the battlefield encompasses 24 miles or more. So it's a big battlefield, small town. Size of Gettysburg hasn't changed that much, really. Population, obviously. So Davis's, you see, they're up on that high ground. They're up on that high ground and pulling Davis's troops back to reinforce with that artillery. So now we're on McPherson's Ridge. You guys see my videos of that white barn I hang out at. That's that white barn right there. You can see it from my bedroom window. Rock and roll. So there's Chambersburg Road. You see that dirt road right there? That's the road in front of my house. I know you just can't get enough of the play-by-play with Warlord, right? Rock and roll. You can call me... I hate being a captain, so you can call me Corporal Larkin Tunget. I actually portray my great-great-great-grandfather who fought here at the Battle of Gettysburg with the 57th Virginian Armistead. And they marched on the angle with Armistead with his hat on his sword, and my great-great-great-grandfather was there with the 57th Virginia. And so we're going to try some flanking. We got to head south down into town. Did y'all have your chicken today? Take out that artillery. The problem is we're going to get flanked. Yep, that's that's Michigan, Iron Brigade. There's McCader's peeps right there. The Iron Brigade worked hardcore, man. I'll tell you what. Bunch of hardcore freaking snow freaking running freaking Northern Europeans. Rock and roll right on. Iron Brigade out of mission. Let's get them. Man, we push them back too. That's what we did. That's what happened in real history. What you're seeing is loosely real history. This is pretty it's pretty loose. It's pretty easy to play. I watch our pal Koenig Penguin play Total War, and I love watching. He's my Total War guy. I watch Penguin play Total War, and Penguin, you know, I've watched him play that, and I don't play Total War, but there's a lot more detail in it. There's a lot more movements and troops and selections and all kinds of stuff in there. This seems pretty simple. Of course, there could be a lot I'm missing, like that. I'm just trying to get these guys. So we're up. Okay, we're up on McPherson's Ridge, but we're way up north. We're up on Oak Ridge. Okay, so Rhodes should be up north up there. So where we're headed up north, as we go north, the elevation increases. Okay, so our artillery, this is sort of what happened too. The artillery went north up on Oak Hill. That's what I'm looking for, Oak Hill. So I'm sending that artillery up north up to Oak Hill, because then they can fire down into town. They might even be able to hit Benner's Hill if they didn't already hit Benner's Hill out by the Daniel 80 farm. Daniel 80 farm. Rock and roll. Shout outs to Grateful Ed. You all are in Gettysburg. Stop by the Daniel 80 farm for a tour. Give a high five to our pal Grateful Ed. You guys see Grateful Ed in my videos all the time, and he's the generous donator of my wheelchair a year ago when I ended up in a wheelchair with MS. Best damn day of the year. Holy shit, I can get through the house. Rock and roll. Let's bring General Archer back in. Now, Archer was captured right there, about where he is, about where we have him, right there on the Harmon farm. He was captured. He's one of my favorites, man. I love the 1st Tennessee that we're here in Gettysburg. That's always, before I lost my ability to walk all the time, and I'm in a chair shit 99% of the time. One of the things I wanted to do is get my Tennessee kit together, and right over here where we're at, where I live, where Archer's Brigade at, we'll bring in that South Carolina artillery on day, that will be day 2. We're on day 1. So this is a day 1 scenario. But Archer, cogfog moment of the day, Archer was captured by a big burly Irishman. They called him Sally, because apparently when they were in military school, he was one of the guys that would, I guess, put on a bonnet and like play the girl part, and like they would dress. And he apparently was slight of build. And I oftentimes hear fellow amateur historians and historians alike often comment in kind of a joking manner about Archer. And let's keep something in mind, kids. Archer led the vanguard. That guy had bigger balls than anyone in day 1, period. The guy led the vanguard. Are you shitting me? That took balls. He's like, yes, sir, let's go. And so I was thinking about, that's what I was thinking. I was going to put together my Tennessee kit and head over here to McPherson's barn, where the 1st Tennessee was engaged with 2nd Wisconsin, 7th Wisconsin, Old John Burns, and the Iron Brigade. So the Tennessee Brigade was engaged against all of them. And I thought about going over there, and maybe I still will, in my impression, and talk about those Tennessee boys and where they came from and the kinds of crops they grew and what kind of church they went to and what were they doing before the war and what did they do after the war. And I always do that in 1st-person impression, and I don't break impression. Unless she's over 50 and she's single. Awesome. Boy, we are going to get... Yeah, so we're up around Barlow's Knoll. Yes, sir. Are we on Oak Ridge? I can't see it too well. My eye's giving me gyp today. So check it out. Rock and roll. Let's bring up the troops. You boys are marching slow. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Left, 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 left. And then we don't say nothing. We just march. Rock and roll. It's going down. So Pennsylvania College there is now the Gettysburg College. A lot of foreign students. It's a good engineering school and obviously a history school. So shit, I moved that artillery. That artillery's going to get flanked. Fuck. I'm bringing it up north. Where are we at? Yeah, we've got to be up around Barlow's. Yeah, north of town, boy. Let's freaking roll them up like a fish hook. Just like the good old days. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. There's Gettysburg Square right there in the center. You guys saw that cam video that I posted. The Christmas tree down there. Right on. Hell yes. And guys, this is just what happened too, man. And now when the troops are getting into the town, The troops are getting into the town. It is hand-to-hand effing fighting, dude, house to house. Can you guys believe it? That's some hardcore shit right there. Here they come, boys. You're not moving fast enough. Let's go, let's go, let's go. That is one hell of a walk. The entire march that you see these guys do, from beginning of the game to the end of the game, I've done that whole march across the fields, through the shit, the mud, everything, wearing all my crap, all my gear, in 100-degree heat, just so I could walk in the footsteps of my great-great-great-grandfather, and I really did. I broke the law and trespassed and everything. Yes, sirree, Bob, and I've slept on this battlefield a few times, right where my great-great-great-grandfather did. Same place, same general vicinity. And there ain't nothing, there is no experience like sleeping on the most haunted ground in the United States. Sleeping there all night. Sleeping in the old plantation house at the Kernstown battlefield. That'll scare the brogans off ya. If you're not a believer in that sort of thing, come spend some time in Gettysburg. You'll see something eventually that you can't explain. And this is why. 51,000 men had died, were killed, wounded, or missing in a 3-day battle. And I do believe, check my facts, something along the lines of more Americans died here in this 3-day battle than any war we've ever had. And this is just what happened too. So shit, they're over at the high school. Yeah, they're freaking, this is just what they did too. The Yankees, General Reynolds and General Meade. Shout outs to Joe, General Meade. You may indeed watch this video. If you do, rock and roll. Stop by and say hey sometime. Love to see you. Come by for a cup of Joe. Hell yeah. So we're going to push him back to the round tops. Fuck-a-doody-do. Not too much, yeah, that's $1 for the MS tip swear jar to go to the MS Society. But, I don't know, man. It didn't, I'm looking for, like, attrition and stuff here. The difficulty settings really were kind of based on the aggressiveness of the enemies. You know what I mean? There was no easy, medium, and hard. There's no easy, medium, and hard. You just kind of pick random or decisive or cunning. I chose defensive. I chose a defensive enemy because that's what they did. That's what the Yankees did. That Buford and Reynolds, they held as long as they could. Okay, until Meade got there, until the reinforcements got there. They were on the march, boy. These armies were looking for each other. Robert E. Lee took the fight to the north. Why? The majority of the battles of the Civil War were fought in the south, not in the north. He needed to take that attrition to the north. He marched north. That's why he went up to Sharpsburg. That's Antietam to all you Yankees. And so, Gettysburg, you know, that's one battle, the Battle of Gettysburg, that does not have different names between the Confederates and the Yanks. Huh. It's not like we called it the Battle of the Round Tops or something. It's the Battle of Gettysburg on both sides. And so we're into town. They're done. They're done. Unless they get reinforced, which they might. I don't know, man. General Meade could just roll right up. Now, one of the things I'd like to do in this scenario, and unfortunately this isn't the format that I had hoped it was, and what I mean is I want to look at the entire battle map. I want to move all these troops around the entire battlefield, and I will change the course of this battle. I've done it before in other Civil War games. We take Culp's Hill. We take Cemetery Hill. You know what that means. How about we roll around from the north and come down south, and we take the Round Tops before Meade even gets there. Those would be three fun scenarios. Now the Culp's Hill scenario, I played some other Civil War RTSs over the past 20 years. And I'll tell you what, I have been able to take Culp's Hill. No shit. It was not easy. It's never easy. Candy and Kane, yeah, I know. It sounds funny, but that's the general's names. They always had treats. They did. So Candy and Kane, being the engineers that they were, they started putting up breastworks. I know, wouldn't that make a great bra store in Gettysburg? But they started building those breastworks up there on Culp's Hill. They started digging in. They knew that that would be such a strategic position. And that was one of the three tops. There's 3 big hills, maybe more, maybe 4, but 3 big hills that the Yanks held. Little Round Top, Big Round Top, and what did I just say? Culp's Hill. So the Yanks sat up there on Culp's Hill, the Little Round Top, Big Round Top. Yep, we're rolling right through Pickett's Buffet. We're going past the Taco Bell. You guys ever see that picture of that McDonald's with that Civil War wagon and buggy? That's in the McDonald's here. It's on the internet. It's in memes and stuff. Yep, so that's the college. Obviously, this is back in the day. Folks always used to ask me, people still ask me, they say, how long you lived in Gettysburg? Since 1863. Yeah, they're done. They still got a shit ton of Yanks though. Look at that. They're coming in, they're reinforcing. There's General Meade, so they're sitting up on Cemetery Hill now. General Hancock, Evergreen Cemetery. Back out by my house. Ain't much going on. We got all of our depleted troops. They're all retreating. They're all coming out to Warlord's house to have some fat pig and some taters. Rock and roll. Yep. Oh, there goes General Reynolds. He should have been dead. Dead by 10 a.m. July 1st. Highest ranking officer that died at the Battle of Gettysburg, I believe. He took one right in the neck about, I don't know, 8, 9 in the morning. Unfortunate, tragic story. Right here, next to my house, I can see his statues out the window. Truly heartbreaking story. He was engaged to be married. And, yep, shit, that's it. Right on. Objectives Oak Hill, baby. I didn't even know if we lost Iverson. Iverson's Pits, guys. If you're interested in a good ghost story, check out my Iverson's Pits videos on my Daryl Tunga YouTube page. Awesome. Confederates objective Oak Ridge, Seminary Ridge, Hares Ridge. Losses 32-48. Yeah, the Yanks hardly lost any troops. We took a lot of freaking hits. Took a lot of hits. Boy, that was fun. What other data we got? Boy, that was neat. I'm gonna be having fun with that. It's pretty simple. And I'll tell you what, since it's an RTS and I can hit pause. But here's the bonus, guys. You guys have heard me say this before. This kind of game is such a good exercise for cognitive dysfunction and focus, right? And that's where video games are really starting to come to the forefront for people with, illnesses like mine. And there's even some games being developed, to help us stay sharp. You know why I'm so sharp and I talk so well and everything in the live stream is because you guys are engaging me. But when you guys aren't engaging me, man, it's like I'm freaking Space Case. So rock and roll. How about that? That was a lot of fun. Yeah, we need to be rolling out some more Civil War, and we're going to be having some kick-ass. Let's see, let's jump back in there. Yeah, what else do we got? I think that's it. That's going to be a hell of a lot of fun. And the audio piece that I was playing, right on, we're in a blizzard right now. That's what I wanted to tell you with this seed. We're in a blizzard right now, and grab this. Sorry. We're in a blizzard right now, so my last 2 or 3 streams have been like super wonky, right? And my internet's been cutting out like crazy. Yep. Let's check out that. Our last scene. Yeah, so my internet's been cutting out like crazy. Awesome. My internet's been cutting out like crazy because the wind's been blowing like nuts. A couple of you guys came in and said, "Hey man, you're lagging really bad." And the thing is I sit in here in my treehouse, and it's like, shit, I don't know what's going on outside, right? Gotta hear it. And so lo and behold, little did I know, there's a freaking blizzard going on outside, right? So my internet was cutting out, my stream was all choppy, and I'm sitting here like looking for like, oh, it's Twitch Studio, my connection to the one guy saying, oh, call your ISP. I got a new modem. I've already had people here. So it wasn't all that or anything. It's not my PC. Yeah, I'm not using a Commodore 64. I have an i7. I got 16 gigs of RAM. So I'm doing all right. It's not the bomb, but I'm doing my best with what I got. So turns out it was the storm with the lag and all that stuff, unfortunately. So I don't know if I'm going to be streaming. I don't know, for the next couple of days until things kind of, the wind calms. There's like 50-mile-an-hour winds out there. I'm going to try to stream, but the lag's been really bad, and it's because we've had a blizzard for a couple of days. So my internet and my power's gone out. It's actually, the power's gone out like a dozen times today. So it's like flickering and shit. But anyway, you guys, we've been rolling for about a half an hour. That was fun, and that was like my first look. And we're listening to the 2nd South Carolina String Band, the Ewers Brothers, Blue Tail Fly, right on. And this was fun. I'm going to be playing this. I'm going to be streaming this. This is the kind of game that I can play when I'm like not feeling too well. So if you're somebody who's chronically ill, you're stuck in the house, you're chilling, you'd love to play a game, but you don't want something that's too fast and crazy, you're a Gettysburg Civil War nut, you're a living history freak, play some Ultimate General. Definitely worth it. So y'all, I'm going to eat me some chicken, and I'm going to play some more scenarios in this Ultimate General Gettysburg. Last but not least, all you guys, I just got my affiliate. I got my affiliate months ago. I've actually been an affiliate the entire time, but I didn't have everything set up. But you guys who recently subbed, and especially Warband, thanks for helping me with subs and all that stuff. I appreciate all you moderators and people who have helped me out kind of watch my back on Twitch. You guys kind of chaperone, moderate my channel. You guys are intimately aware of what's going on with me, and I just wanted to show my appreciation and say, hey, thanks very much, you guys, for watching my back on Twitch. And glad to spend a little bit of my life and a little bit of yours. And so I'll see you guys on Twitch soon. And thanks all you guys who've been so supportive of what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to be independent, pay my own way. So if you're somebody who's giving me a hand up, thank you for the hand up. So that I can stand on my own 2 feet. I can roll on my own 2 wheels. Right on. So thanks for the subs, guys, and thanks for the help, and thanks for the support. I couldn't be where I'm at on Twitch and enjoying, most importantly, your kindness, your friendship, your camaraderie, and your kick-ass attitudes. So keep smiling, y'all. See you soon. Smoke 'em if you got 'em.
Old master's gone, now let him rest. They say all things them for the best. I never shall forget till the day I die. Old master and the blue tail fly, scratching with a bright too.